Check this place out. Oh, there's the newspaper place. Ooh, we gotta go there for a questicle. So this is Valinquer Street. It sure is busy. Of course, it's the biggest street in Heimdall. There's more to it than just Plaza Bifrost, too, which means you'll see lots of different types of people. Oh, I guess this is where Plaza Bifrost is, then. That's convenient. Different types of people and different types of orbital vehicles, it seems. Well, that's partly due to the Imperial Transportation Act, the ITA, that came into effect last year. Don't run into the road, Machias. You're the last person I need treating me like a child. Anyway, it sounds like we'll be coming here a lot during our visit. Sounds like it. Sounds like it. We better take the chance to familiarize ourselves with the shops here. Indeed. We gotta check this place out, see what's going on. Watson's Weapons and Armor. Lumiere Orbital Factory. La Sage Boutique. The Head Store. Department Store Plaza Bifrost, and then there's the Imperial Chronicle. Which we probably want to save that for later, since there's a mandatory quest there. So this is the famed Plaza Bifrost. Man, I'm kind of nervous to go in. Come on, what's there to be scared of? Think of all the money we saved up to get to Erebonia. We can't sit around letting it all go to waste. Wonder if they came here from Liberal. I bet they did, those sons of bitches. They probably lived in Roland, if I had to guess. How you doing? You look like Dolly. Basil. Did you know that there's a huge network of underground passages sprawling underneath the city? I'm guessing we're gonna have to go down there. There's supposed to be like a huge underground labyrinth, and once you go inside, you never come out. That's too bad. I bet I'd come out. They even say that the spirits of people who got lost in there hundreds of years ago are still lurking about. Scary, right? Frightening. Passerby. There's loads of famous stores on this street, which means lots of contracts to be made and business to be done. Got so much to do. It's another Samantha. If you want to do some shopping, there really is no better place than Valinquer Street. You've got the department store, the boutique, and even some nice restaurants if you're feeling peckish, which I usually am. It couldn't be easier to get onto the tram either. It's perfect. Nothing's perfect, miss. Butler Carrigan. Didn't we see you in Bereahard? I received some information about Lady Annabelle being spotted at Heimdall Station. As such, it's entirely possible that she could be here. Haha, large as the city may be, I do have a plan to work around that. Wait for me, Lady Annabelle. Today is the day that I finally find you. I think he's been looking for her for a really long time. Like most of the game. Is that Gordon? It's Mulder! Hey Mulder, where's Scully? As you may already know, Erebonia is a diverse place, replete with a number of unique cultures. The city of Heimdall at its center is where all of those cultures come together. And at the center of Heimdall, Valinquer Street, on which we stand. Ho ho ho! Don't call me a ho, sir. Just take a look at these tourists whose eyes have been dazzled. We couldn't be any more proud of the city's citizens. Nice. Nice, 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 nice. Watson's Weapons and Armor. Let's see what's going on here. Watson's! Not quite Emma Watson, but close enough. They got weapons on the wall. I'm guessing we're gonna have some weapon upgrades here. How you doing, sir? Welcome. It's not every day we get students here. From a military academy, you say? That explains it, then. Well, check out our wares. This ain't a popular store, but we've got some good stock. Why isn't it popular? What's up with that? Oh. Sasamiyuki, a tachi with a delicate snow-like pattern on its surface. Ruby wand. An orbital staff with a beautiful ruby embedded in its head. Coolio. Bastard sword. Bastage sword, you mean. An easy-to-use two-handed sword known for its slim blade. Stinger SG-30. A difficult-to-use shotgun that fires needle-shaped bullets. Cool. Gemini Star. A pair of gun swords with slightly different capabilities. Okay. Titanium coat. And military spikes, which we already have. We already have those, so we don't need to bother with those kind of shenanigans. Brings attack up by 40. Speed down by 3 and evasion down by 5%, but, you know, that's how that goes. But I'm sure we'll be able to upgrade them soon, regardless. Bastard sword. Attack up by 50, speed down by 3. Attack up by 50, speed down by 3, and evasion down by 5%. Ruby wand, attack up by 40, art strength down by 15, speed down by 3. But imagine we're going to be able to upgrade those anyway and get those stats back, regardless. Stinger SG-30, attack up by 50, speed down by 3. Yeah. Alright, we got some weapon upgrades. It's pretty awesome. It's pretty sweet. You know what I'm talking about, man? Alright, let's go over here to the Orbital Factory where we're probably going to be able to upgrade those weapons. One would think. Okay. That was exciting. Lumiere Orbital Factory. Freaking Lumiere from Beauty and the Beast. Got some quartzes, some different orbital nonsense. How you doing, sir? You look like a dork, sir. I'm just saying, Johans. Hey there, welcome to Lumiere Orbital Factory. You got orbital problems, we got orbital solutions. Well, I bet he didn't come up with that. Oh, so you need me to keep your Arcus ticking. Haha, they're giving students some cool tech these days. Well, let me know what you need. We're even equipped to synthesize quartz for your Arcus. Cool. Chop, 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 chop. Nothing new there. No new master quartz. Customize weapons. Here we go. This is what we want. Akiakutu, a reinforced tachi. Its polished blade has a scarlet glow. Very nice. Ruby Force instead of Ruby Wand. A staff modified to use all of the embedded gemstones' power. Zweihander. Oh, it's spelled a little bit differently. Zweihander. A reinforced greatsword, reforged to be stronger and longer. You said longer. Bear Stinger. A shotgun modified for power, rebuilt from the frame inward. Definitely want to get that bad boy. An Odd Eye. A pair of differently shaped gun swords, used by pool experts. Good to know. Good to know. Uh-oh. Brings attack up by another 35, and you get that speed up by 5, and evasion up by 10% this time. Awesome. Attack by 35, speed up by 5. Attack up by 35, speed up by 5, evasion up by 10%. Very good. Attack up by 35, art strength up by 35, speed up by 5. And Bear Stinger. Attack up by 35, speed up by 5. Aw, yeah. Good times being had here in the Mushroom Kingdom. Alright. I don't think we can open up anything else, can we? Nope, we need 600 space sepith. Yours are already all opened. Let's see, what do we need? Grand Press. I don't want to use space sepith for anything because we need to save that up. That's what we need to do. We need another hydro can. I guess we can get another one of those. Ooh, we can get a Tyrol now. Since we don't have one. Guess we'll get one of those. Athalis. It takes space. I don't really want to use that then. Because we need to build that up. Flame Tongue. Flame Tongue. Guess we'll get one of those. Volcanic Rain. We need more fire now for that. We're all out of fire now, which we need for a lot of that stuff. Holy Breath. Guess it's better than regular breath. Heals allies in an area with purifying sacred breath. Heal medium in area large. Guess we can go ahead and get one of those. Anything else we want to get? Chrono break. We need more time. Sleep. Frost Crusade, that would take space anyway. I don't want to use up space, sir. Sorry. It's not something I want to be doing around here. Alright. Crescent Mirror. Oh, you don't even have all of yours on. That's a problem. It's a problem, drinker. Let's see, what do I want to give to you? Can't Dragon Vision. Grim Butterfly. Guess we'll give you that. Why not? Breath. We can exchange breath with, Ooh, we never looked at Adamantine Shield. A shield protects targets from one physical attack. Nice. We can exchange breath with what's it called? With Holy Breath. As well. Adamantine Shield. And this has to be time. Don't you already have that? Could have sworn you already had that on. But I guess it took it off, so we'll put it back on then, because I kind of like having that with you. Okay. Thalassar. Tirar. We can upgrade that to Tyrol. Makes sense. Okay. Good times being had in the Mushroom Kingdom. Alrighty then. Bum 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 bum. And we can check out the boutique. The main branch of the Lesage Boutique. you doing? Seppa. Welcome to the Sage. Please let me know if you want to use the changing rooms. Okay. Nice boots you got here. Melvy. I'll be going on a date with my boyfriend on the first day of the summer festival. But now I'm worried that I don't have anything to wear. That's too bad. There's the changing rooms. Looks like there's no, like, table or kind of seat in there or anything. That's kind of obnoxious. Kalis. Howard used to be an artisan, actually. Even now, he still designs all of the clothes we sell here. Does he now? His skills are so widely acclaimed that he's even been asked to design stage outfits for Vita Clotilda herself. And yet the years of acclaim haven't made him any less cantankerous. That's too bad. You hate to see it happen, man. You really do. Ooh, red jacket. And red shoes. A jacket dyed in a passionate, vivid red color. Get one of those. Red shoes. Leather shoes dyed in a passionate, vivid red color. I'll take one of those. Any accessories we don't have? Nope, 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 nope. Red jacket, and not nearly as good as our aura jacket. And red shoes, not quite as good as the Strega A1. Better for speed and evasion percentage, but that's about it, really. So yeah. So yeah. Good times being had here in the Mushroom Kingdom. They're cars! We can't go out into the street. Well, I would hope not. Alright, let's go to this place. Continue this side quest, shall we? How you doing? Watch your step now. That road's specifically for orbital vehicles, so you can't just wander into it. The game won't let you, sir. You'll have to wait for the policeman standing over at the intersection to give you the go-ahead if you want to cross. Here's some trivia for you. Those rules were laid down by last year's Imperial Transportation Act. Oh, okay. Plaza Bifrost. Ooh. Automatic doors and such. Check out this place. I bet there's some shenanigans going on here. How you doing? Manager Verdi? He's the middle manager, didn't you know? Welcome to Plaza Bifrost. This department store has stood for 100 years now. Here at Plaza Bifrost, customer satisfaction is our top priority. Cool. Ivana. Oh my, today is such a busy day. So much to buy. So much to buy. So much to buy. My family always gets together for dinner on the first night of the festival, so I need to get everything while I can. That's too bad. That is just too bad. Bum 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 bum. Let me just wait for this to do its thingamajigger. Do its thingamajigger and such. Alright. Anywho. Alright, what's your problem, ma'am? Receptionist Cilia. Welcome to Plaza Bifrost. Is there anything I can help you with? We're looking for a specific item and heard that this was the place to ask. That's right. What can I help you find today? We're trying to find a record that came out roughly 30 years ago. It's called Amber Amour. Is there any chance that someone here would have it in stock? Amber Amour. Allow me to get in touch with our affiliated stores. Please bear with me as I do so. Uh-huh. Thank you for waiting. Did you manage to find it? I'm afraid not. I contacted all 5 stores, but none of them had a copy, I'm afraid. Well, that sucks. That's less than ideal. Can you ask anyone else? Unfortunately not. I'm afraid you might have to inquire elsewhere. However, before we resort to that, it is possible for us to contact the record maker and ask them to send us a copy. Would that be of interest to you? How long would it take to arrive? It depends on the company, but anywhere from a week to a month, I'd say. Whoa! Oh. Unfortunately, we were asked to find a copy by tonight. While I appreciate the offer, there's not much point in getting it a week from now. So you need it right away. Then might I suggest you visit the easy for me to say. Then might I suggest you visit the Ost district. There's a very reliable second-hand store there that might have it. It's a second-hand store, not a first-hand store. Oh, right. I didn't think of that. Didn't realize there were second-hand stores in Heimdall. Don't you live in the Ost district, Machias? Not only do I live there, I know the woman who runs the store. The store's named Emrod's, and I'm fairly certain they sell old records. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go. We should have went there first. Like, what the beep? Fine by me. We really appreciate all the help you've given us. My pleasure. I do hope you find what you're looking for. Indeed. I do hope you find that record you're looking for, but should you ever require anything else, please come and visit us again. I shall. Weston House Whole Foods. Renoir. We're giving out this recipe to everyone who stops by during the summer festival. It's a recipe to make a delicious gratin. Don't believe me? Try it yourself. We get the recipe for tomato gratin. Nice. Welcome to Weston House. We have a wide selection here, ranging from rare delicacies to the freshest, meticulously selected ingredients. We also offer a roasting service for coffee beans. If you enjoy brewing your own, give it a try. Oh boy. You know how much I love my coffee beans. Alright, let's check out this recipe. Shall we? Recipe, tomato gratin. Takes mature cheese, flaky potato, acerbic tomato, chitinous shell, globby fat, and hearty powder. Good times. Looks like Elliot's good at it. And Emma. But she's not with us right now, so that's a thing.
Hope this turns out okay.
Bum-ba-bum-ba-bum.
Oh, this looks pretty nice.
Melted gratin.
Okay, it's ready.
Melted gratin. Do-do-do-do-do.
Okay. Oh, came out okay. It's technically edible.
Magma gratin.
Hope this turns out okay.
We just need the last one.
Oh, this looks pretty nice.
We may need Emma for it, though.
Hope this turns out okay. Oh, this looks pretty nice. Okay, it's ready. Hope this turns out okay.
Come on, Elliot. Stop screwing around.
Oh, this looks pretty nice.
He keeps making the good one. We want the unique one or whatever.
Hope this turns out okay.
Du-du-du-du-du.
Oh, this looks pretty nice. Okay, it's ready.
Yeah, I'm guessing he can't make it for whatever reason.
Hope this turns out okay.
So we'll probably have to wait for Emma to do it.
Oh, this looks pretty nice. Okay, it's ready.
Yep. That's just the way it is. Can't do nothing about it. Bum 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 bum. Magma Gratin. A gratin with a surface that boils like magma. Restores 200 HP, restores 50 CP. That's fun. Melted Gratin. The ultimate gratin, coated in a layer of melted cheese. Cheese, it's good! Restores 2800 HP, restores 40 CP. Not too shabby, sir. Not too shabby at all. Alright. What do we got over here? Alterna Bookstore. We got a bookstore. Do-do-do-do-do. How you doing? Natal. Welcome to Alterna. Almost Altona, which was a town close to where I lived by. You'll find no better collection of knowledge anywhere in Erebonia. Please feel free to peruse our wares. I'm certain you'll find something that will enrich your life. Maybe. Any new books? Any new... Ooh, yeah, we got some... Ooh, Carnelia reprints. Nice. Part 6, 7, and 8. Do-do-do-do-do. Yay! Good times. You can read the next chapter of those books. Carnelia, chapter 6, 7, and 8. Ascertaining the inner workings. My orbment, emptied bag and package wrapped in old magazine paper, were laid out neatly on the table in front of me. The bracer sitting opposite me gazed alternately at my face and the items on the table as if trying to gauge my reaction to them. Constantly rubbing his chin between his fingers, it appeared to me as though he were making an effort to display his right hand, snugly fit within a leather gauntlet. I had been led to the second floor of the lodge by the two men, and then, after they had painstakingly checked the layout of the floor, I was taken to the farthest room from the stairs. It occurred to me that the reason for the use of the makeshift space was due to there being no guild branch nearby. That's too bad. You hate to see it happen. The first man to sit in front of me was the lanky one. He told me his name, but I soon forgot which one was Clayton, and which one was Pavel. About the time I had finished being frisked, the bracer wearing the gauntlets, Clayton or Pavel, whoever it was, returned and whispered something in his partner's ear. It seemed as though they were trying to locate Sister Carnelia, but having no luck. He probably whispered the code to unlock Dave in Vigilante 8, if I had to guess. You know what I'm talking about? Bum 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 bum. Do 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 do. After much probing on the subject of her and the Jaeger Corps, and after relating everything I had heard from her on the train, I turned the conversation around and, playing the role of the victim, inquiring into her past history. Though strictly speaking, I guess I was, in fact, a victim. Pretty much. Her name is Selnet, Ein Selnet, who of course we know from the third. Read along the lanky bracer from a pocketbook he held just below eye level. Originally a constituent member of a Jaeger Corps, her present affiliation and activities are unknown. Oh, we know what her affiliation actually is. Randy with an eye style. In short, added his partner pompously, she's not the type of person any upstanding citizen should be getting involved with. He reached out his gauntlet-clad hand and picked up the object bundled in scrap paper. Checking my reaction all the while, he unwrapped the paper, laying it out flat in the center of the table. Its contents turned out to be a lump of metal, ingrained with a sort of clay-like substance. I blurted out, I was on my way to a research institute with the item when everything happened, and then threw in the address of some non-existent client for good measure. The bracers took notes, making sure not to leave out any of the details of our conversation. Then, to dispel any lingering suspicions, I agreed to stay with them under their watchful eyes for the night. Fun. The next day, I also found myself inclined to go along with them to the nearest guild branch in order to file a report about the events that happened back at the station, but I had no qualms over the matter. My greatest concern at the moment, after all, was not running into any more trouble. I awoke as the sun came up over the horizon and day broke. With the advent of a peaceful morning, I sat up in bed and breathed a sigh of relief. The bracers who had stood guard the previous night were no longer present in the room, but the sound of their voices could be heard echoing out in the hallway beyond the closed door. Slipping my arms through the sleeves of my jacket, I felt a sharp pain in my right elbow, which brought back vivid memories of the woman from the day before. Suddenly a feeling of uneasiness came over me, and still half undressed, I began adjusting my orbment. After opening its back cover, I used a thin piece of tan doe skin, and started plucking out the quartz installed in each slot. It didn't take but 5 minutes to insert them each into different slots and rearrange their configuration. With a set of light magic as my base, one by one, I replaced each screw until finally the metallic panel was back in place. And as a feeling of calmness set in, I rolled back over in bed. Dun-da-dun-da-da. It was at that time that a tall woman appearing to be a maid opened the door carrying a basin of hot water from the sink, with which guests could shave and wash their faces. After placing the small steaming tub on the table, the woman went quietly about her daily task of removing the bed linen. Finding myself shooed from my own bed, I reluctantly headed towards the basin, when just beyond the open door I caught sight of 2 shadows cutting across the hallway in succession. "They're here," I heard myself mutter, as the low tone of my suppressed voice reached my ears. With only a bar of soap in hand, I remained unbelievably calm as I quickly shut and bolted the door. Then, pondering my next move, I stood still with my back pressed up against the wall. On the other side of the hardened clay wall, the brief clamor of fighting ensued. Fumbling with the chain attached to my hip pocket, I grabbed hold of the orbment I had adjusted just barely moments before. It was 2 bracers versus the 2 others I had seen moments ago. Throwing myself into the mix with the 2 men from the guild would definitely put us at an advantage from a numbers standpoint. However, when I turned again to face the door, the voice of self-doubt came percolating through my closed lips in the form of a distant mutter. "There were only 2 of them," I murmured to myself. If Sister Carnelia's words were to be believed, then one unit consisted of 3 people, not 2. Again, I questioned myself inwardly. Then where's the 3rd? The hair on the back of my neck stood on end as I realized my plight. Uh-oh. Something swung down over the top of my head, catching me around the neck, and the next instant I was flung to the ground. From the corner of my blurred and spotty vision came the inexplicable view of a woman with demonic bloodshot eyes standing over me, trying to wrench the very life out of me with every twist of the sheet she had wrapped tightly around my throat. Clutching my orbment in hand, I activated it and fired off a burst of magic while lying half asphyxiated on the wooden planks of the room floor. The destructive vortex of compressed air sliced deeply into my hip, but at the same time caused the woman to double over before forcefully blowing her to another part of the room. Threads of whirling linen, flecked and sprayed with fresh blood, blasted out through a gaping hole in the wall where a closed window once stood, leaving nothing behind but shards of broken glass and a frame rent beyond all repair. That completes Chapter 6. Chapter 7, The Death of a Friend. The death of a friend. Wheezing, I breathed in, the sound high and whistling as the air fought to make it through my constricted windpipe. Still clutching tightly to my orbment, I unwound the sheets from my throat. Utterly exhausted, I tilted my head on its side, and watched with reddened eyes as a small stream of saliva dribbled down over the edge of my mouth and pooled onto the floor. When fresh air finally made its way into my lungs, it initially choked me, nearly as badly as the sheet had. A thump from somewhere behind startled me from my fit. The Jaeger demoness, like a spring-loaded doll, leapt up from the floor of the room. The single shot of magic I had previously landed in her gut should have done the trick, but the fluid way she moved about made it appear as if she were unfazed by the blast. Within arm's reach of where I had subconsciously curled myself came the splintering sound of unseasoned wood being honed down by a giant woodcutter's axe. That's no good. In the following instant, Sister Carnelia came flying through a newly opened hole in the timber door, her entry punctuated by a cloud of splinters. Her arms as pliant as whips, she passed by the female Jaeger. In a lightning-quick motion, and with a turning assault, clocked her opponent full tilt in the face. The woman spun with the force of the blow and fell with a tumultuous thud, her head cracking hard against the floor. Like a prima ballerina, Sister Carnelia raised her knee high until she had it tucked securely up against her sternum. She stared down at the outstretched figure on the floor, muscles flexed and without an ounce of mercy. Sister Carnelia let her judgment fall with the heel of her boot, stomping down and crushing the wretched woman's throat. That had to tickle. As I witnessed the grotesque and unsightly scene, Sister Carnelia gave a quick glance in my direction and beckoned me on. Then, with a nimble hop into the unknown before her, she cleared the broken window frame and lighted to the ground below. Quickly scraping my belongings together, I made after her in the same manner she had left, out the window with a 2-story drop to the cobblestone side road below. Waiting close by and helping to break my less than elegant fall, Sister Carnelia led me on as we took flight along the avenue, brightly lit by the morning sun. A deafening blare from an orbital engine's whistle indicated that the first train was about to depart. Sister Carnelia's immediately pulled a ticket from out of her coat pocket and held it out to me from the side. Hopefully it wasn't a digital ticket that John would later complain about. Reaching for the fluttering strip of paper between her fingers, I realized that I was still carrying the bar of soap from before, so I chucked it, not caring where it landed or who it might hit. Soap style. Aboard the train, the smoggy haze from the incessant smoking of the nattering gentleman had permeated into every nook and cranny of the passenger car. There was also the smell of newly printed publications, and the occasional sound of someone clearing their throat. It felt rather awkward to have boarded a train bound for the Imperial City with my bag still in hand. "Do you know what your problem is, Toby?" Sister Carnelia remarked. "You're just like that Orbin of yours." Using her white handkerchief, she stanched the glow of blood from my leg, which had been lacerated by the spinning arrow blades of the magic. Once you get yourself into trouble, you keep digging yourself in deeper until someone comes along with a billy club and whacks some good sense into you. Placing a folded magazine on my lap, she tapped on it with the nail tip of her index finger, indicating that I should read what was inside. It was a copy of the Imperial Chronicle, which had been published just that morning. A several-lined article, buried pages behind more titillating news, told of the suspicious death of one Orbital factory owner, somewhere within the capital. This was the first time I had ever become aware of Mick's real age. Sister Carnelia continued her lecture as she mercilessly upbraided me for my reckless behavior. "You missed being caught up in all this by a hair's breadth," she informed me coolly. At a loss for words over the shock of Mick's death, I put the magazine away in my trench coat pocket. Another 5 minutes in that shop and you would have gone to meet your maker too. I shook my head and with trembling lips let my thoughts fumble out of my mouth. I just don't get it. Why did Mick have to die? Images of Mick's cold body behind the counter alternated in my mind, with that of the lump of metal wrapped in scrap paper. Just what the hell had I been carrying all this time, and why did anyone have to die over it? I pondered at length. Sister Carnelia met my eyes and held them. "Because it's an artifact," she said simply. Oh boy. "An artifact?" I scoffed as I blew off her answer. "Not like I haven't carried a bunch of them before." Artifacts, in short, were the remaining legacy of an ancient civilization, and the generic term for any unidentifiable mechanism which resembled that of an orbment. I'd spent my days as a courier smuggling any number of those items under the false pretense that the goods I was carrying were nothing more than rare antiques, and readily placed them in the hands of those aristocrats, amongst whom they were especially in vogue. And for the most part, my current possession appeared as though it belonged in the same group as the others. Personally, I could find no other value in the collecting of these artifacts, besides the indulgence of oneself in a decadent hobby. Chiding me as if I were a clueless child, Sister Carnelia rebuked. "You're wrong, Toby. This one's much different than the others." After a moment's pause, she added, "It's alive." Uh-oh. Unable to grasp what she meant, I looked at her with a questioning expression on my face. Sister Carnelia tried again. "What I'm trying to tell you is that it still works, although I'm not really sure what kind of power it actually has. It was unearthed during an excavation within the Empire's territory about 30 years ago." Sister Carnelia's subsequent story about the peculiar lump of metal told of the dark history surrounding a group of aristocrats who relentlessly sought after it. The artifact itself had transitioned from hand to hand by those in power. As one after another, they were murdered while slumbering in their bedchambers. Then at the end of the 100 Days' War, its whereabouts were said to have been lost. That's a shame. "And strangely enough, it finally turned up in the capital after all this time," she said, finishing up the account. An announcement chimed in the passenger car notifying those riding of the scheduled time of arrival. Sister Carnelia uncrossed and recrossed her long legs. The one who was after that artifact hired that Jaeger Corps to bring it to them, whatever the cost. So as a result, I was dispatched by the church in order to protect both you and it from falling into their hands. I sat staring down at the bag resting next to my feet as we approached our destination, and the moving train quietly began to lose speed. And that concludes Chapter 7. I'm gonna go use the facility. I'll be back.